Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today's topic is the Science of Miracles. What is a miracle? I just check out from the internet. This is a definition given by internet. A miracle is an extraordinary and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore attributed to a divine agency. This definition is not perfect as I see. Not explicable by nature or scientific laws. Basically, it means not explicable by current natural or scientific laws known by human. At this time, in this time only. In fact, anything that can happen in the universe, in the world, surely it is explicable, not inexplicable. It must be inexplicable. Just that the human wisdom, human intelligence has not come to that height. And because of that, humans' understanding of natural law or scientific laws, that understanding is insufficient to explain. It is not that natural law or scientific law cannot explain a miracle. It is a human understanding of the natural law or scientific laws is so deficient that it cannot explain miracles. If a miracle happens, there must be a reason. You cannot have a natural phenomenon or something happening in the world that is beyond natural or scientific laws. Okay? So in that sense, for today's topic, our understanding of miracle is something that can happen, and yet it's a welcome event, of course. It's something that extraordinary, that is beneficial, people welcome it. But not explicable by current natural or scientific or current human understanding of nature or scientific laws. Okay? But anyway, it's good to know the contemporary explanation of miracle and what today I'm trying to present to you. Okay? Then, why care about miracle? Why do we care about miracle? Usually, as we say, as is defined in the internet, miracle is welcome. It's welcome for the good and unexpected results it produces. You already feel hopeless. You cannot expect something to happen, and yet it happened. You find it has no solution, and it's something that happened and solve the problem. So then if people welcome this miracle, miracle usually has a connotation of goodness. In the English word, the miracle. Simply because this is good. That's simple. It has something beyond, more deeper. It has something deeper. Not so superficial. Okay, look at the next. I want to say, if a miracle is performed by a human being, it unveils. It unveils, there's a S, grammatically a S lacking. If a miracle is performed by a human being, it unveils to the world hidden human potentials that others can also develop by applying the science of miracles. If it is performed by a human being, if a human being can perform miracles, we always assume miracle is performed by some divine force, invisible. But if a miracle can be performed by a human being, if it is performed by a human being, it unveils to the world, or it will unveil to the world. You may use it, it will unveil to the world, or it unveils to the world hidden human potential that others can also develop by applying the science of miracles. Okay? The science of miracle, you can develop. So then there's a question. Can human produce miracle? Eventually we want to ask this question. What are those miracles that we know that human can produce, can perform? And the most important, foremost important in our Buddhist context is complete eradication of suffering by complete eradicating all causes of suffering. Completely eradicating all causes of suffering. Is considered a kind of supernormal power. It's a kind of psychic, you can call it, because it's like miracle. Because people cannot imagine, people cannot fathom the possibility of completely eradicating suffering. Because people die, get born, from the time we are born, we are destined to get old and get sick and die. But can we overcome this? It has never been done in the conventional history, but not in the Buddhist context. In the Buddhist context, many Arahants, Devas, Brahmas have done this. So this is considered miracle only for those who don't know or don't believe it. So you believe it's a miracle. But for those who have done it, it is no more miracle. It's just a kind of transcendental achievement. That everyone, if you work hard, at one time or another, it is achievable. Okay? And then in the Buddhist context, we have other miracles as well. Okay? Something that can perform as we call psychic. But this psychic can cause, psychic is always related to miracles. If you have the psychic powers, some kind of superhuman powers, you can achieve, you can fulfill many things that other people cannot fulfill, cannot do. Okay? So the next you are psychic, we call, which can perform is a respective miraculous work is recollection of past lives. Divine eye. Divine eye is something that it can be, if one has achieved it, it can be proven, it can manifest, it can perform to produce certain result. Then divine ear, you can hear far away. Divine eye is like the Deva's eye. You can see what other people cannot see. Far, something behind the wall, you can see. Something far away, you can see. In other realm phenomena, you can see. So this is divine eye. But there are more meaning to it. Today is not our purpose to go into the details of divine eye. and divine ear. You can hear far and wide sound. They can hear far. During the Buddha's time, there are manifestation of this. So once about the divine ear, the power, there was once a mother and daughter every day offering food to one monk, and then at one time the mother was instructing the daughter, today please prepare the food properly. Get ready the best rice and food for your brother, referring to the monk. The brother is coming, they will offer to him, and keep the coarse one, the horse food for ourselves. The coarse food for ourselves. Then it so happened that at that time, this monk was having divine ear. He was about to go for the food. Then he heard this from far. He heard the supporter, the devotees, talking like this. He said, people give me the best and take the the higher level, all the best food, give me, and take the cheap and simple food for themselves. So such a devotion and such a respect. How can I eat this food and I still having defilements in my mind? So he decided not to go immediately. He just sat down and meditate, and then he attained arahantship. And when he went to the house, it was so bright, because he got enlightened as Arahant, so bright, shining. And then the mother, the old lady saw, and told the daughter, today your brother is so bright, so different. He must have attained enlightenment. So you see, because of divine ear, he ended up having we call the psychic of Asavakaya, Asavakaya jnana, the power of conquering all cankers. And then the next power is mind reading. Mind reading also very powerful. Mind reading, one can know other people's mind. That's very powerful. Mind reading. Is it possible? Achievable. So there's a story about the two monks, uncle and cousin, and nephew. Nephew, both were monks, and the uncle already arahant with all the psychic powers. The nephew, after the vasa, got the robe offering. He thought, I want to offer to my uncle. With all the respect, he offered. But the uncle was so contented type of arahant. He didn't want to say, my 3 robe enough, I don't want new robe, extra robe. You have it yourself. Then this nephew, feeling that, my gift was rejected, then he ended up having all the negative thoughts. While he was fanning the uncle, he thought, if there's a case, I take this robe, I sell or something, and then I this robe, I sell it, then I can rear some chicken, and then I will have eggs, then I will sell it, then I will buy goats, and then the goats will produce more babies, and then with that I will have cows and something, and then with that money I will marry a woman, and a woman will bear me a child. Then he imagined so real. Then up to a point that the woman offended me, something, teased me. Then he was so angry. He took his fan, not on the head of the uncle, He forgot it because he was in the daydreaming. Then the uncle said, the uncle who is Arahant said, you're not knocking your wife, you're knocking me. Then he was shocked and so frightened, so afraid. He said, my uncle read everything off my mind. Then ran away. Escaped. Of course, somehow he was. The end story is good, happy ending. He was caught and then eventually practiced hard. And then supernormal powers. There are a lot during the Buddha's time. Flying, penetrating the wall, going to the underground. Just like Venerable in the first Buddhist council, Venerable the Arahant Ananda, when the night before the first Buddhist council, he attained Arahantship. So he appeared, like all the Sangha go into the cave. But in order to prove, to show, because he was Sotapan, all other 499 Arahants going for the first Buddhist council. And he was admitted simply because he memorized everything the Buddha taught. He was so important. But it is to him, it is that defect that he couldn't attain. He went as a Sotapan, not as an Arahant, you see. So he practiced hard that night. And then he attained all the psychic powers by attaining Arahantship. When everyone entered the cave, all seated, he appeared from the ground. Appear here, like that. So that's a supernormal powers. Very wonderful. During the Buddha's time, a lot of stories about these supernormal powers. Okay. Then the Buddha also says something very more meaningful. He says, is that you can produce miraculous change of the world, of the people, by Dhamma teaching. This is also like miracle, because Dhamma teaching can produce a lot of wonderful impact to the world, to the people. So this is a miraculous, this is more worthy kind of psychic. So Dhamma teaching also considered kind of a psychic in that sense. Okay, the next question is important is, what are the prerequisites for a miracle to take place or to be performed? Number one, it must be possible in natural laws. If it is impossible, then there can be no miracle. There can only be magic, Magic and miracle are two different things. Magic is like you use some tactic to deceive people, produce certain incredible visionary effect. For example, there's some yogi, they can make themselves like levitate, but actually it's not true. Using the kind of what I call tongkat, the crutch, with special device, and lift up. The bodies can lift up. This is not real. Then they take a photo. This person levitate, but it's not real levitation. In India, some people did it. Wonderful. When we see miracle is something, if this really can be performed, there must be some natural laws in it. Just that you know or you don't know. That's it. But it must be possible. If it is not possible, it cannot happen. So there's a first prerequisite. As we say just now in I Ching, the Chinese, the book of change. I Ching, the book of change. It says, when there's a phenomena, there must be some natural law related to it, and it must be calculable. There are certain figures related to it, calculable. Now, then the second condition, one has a wish to materialize it. If you don't have a wish, you cannot do at all. There must be a wish to materialize it. Okay? In the Dhammapada, it says, mind is the forerunner of all states. So if the mind doesn't have a wish, it cannot happen. There must be a wish to lead to the manifestation of something or materialization of something. Okay? And then thirdly, one knows the required causes for the manifestation of a miracle. You must know it. Otherwise, even if you have a wish to materialize a miracle or something incredible, but if you don't know the required causes, there's no way to fulfill, not to produce a miracle or to perform a miracle. Then in my teenage years, at the age of 17, I came across this saying, which inspires me for a long, long time until today. It goes like that. Only those who can see the invisible can do the impossible. Oh, I found it so inspiring. I found this, it must be something wonderful. Who can see the invisible can do the impossible. It's true. What? It surely is not really invisible. It is invisible to other people's eyes. But you can see it. Then you can do the impossible. Impossible in other people's standard. According to other people's level, it's impossible. But for you, it is possible. Okay, that's how I understand it. The seemingly invisible. You have to be precise. Only those who can see the invisible or seemingly invisible to others can do the seemingly impossible for others. Like that. So, but I find no need to put the word seemingly. It means it's more beautiful this way. So, but to be precise, really invisible, really impossible, no, not possible, cannot be do. When we say can do the impossible means what other people consider to be impossible, to you, you make it possible because you see the conditions, the relevant condition that can make a change that other people don't see, which is invisible to others. Okay, you try to understand this way. Not scientifically impossible, not scientifically invisible. Okay, if it is scientifically invisible and scientifically impossible, no way you can defy the nature laws. Not possible, no way. So, how to see invisible? How to make the impossible? One example is like, we want to make money. You find people have a bankrupt business or collapsing business. So you want to buy, how are you going to win? How are you going to earn? Surely, unless you can see something that other people don't see. You buy a broken house with high price. Surely you must see something. Maybe something at the backyard. You see there's a buried a jar of gold or treasures that the owner doesn't see. Okay, then you can buy a poor business and then you make a big profit out of it because you can see what they cannot see. Okay, this is one example. Then next, one has fulfilled the required causes for the manifestation of a miracle. Not only you know is not enough. You must fulfill the required causes for the manifestation of miracle. You must do. A seer is not enough. You must do it. Be a doer. 所以最后呢，就是你要具足奇迹显现所需之因。你不只是知道而不够，你要能够具足它，去完成它。Okay. Now, the next question, important question we want to ask ourselves is, what are the miracles we need? Okay, 1. Unveiling the mystery of life and death. Then the second, knowing our future possibilities. This is big thing. Knowing our future possibilities is so important. For the Buddhists, we know the possibility that we can go to hell, we can be reborn as animals, ghosts, asuras, and also we can be a devas. We can be Brahma, we can be Arupa Brahma, the formless being, formless Brahma. So this is so important. If we can unveil this, we can perform. We can make our life transform and go high, go to the higher realm to free ourselves from all the human suffering, human bondage. Then more important than that is to be free from suffering and causes of suffering. Of course, they have to solve the cause of suffering first. To be free from causes of suffering and suffering. Then the next, helping others to be free from suffering and cause of suffering. And then the next, it encompasses everything, fulfilling all noble aspirations. So it is important. Miracles can be used for so many purposes, such as you can save your air ticket money if you can fly. But the fundamental, really worthy kind of goal is like fulfill all noble aspirations. Then the next important question is, how may the Buddha's teaching help to materialize worthy miracles? I have no time to go through one by one. I will just tell you, and then explanation, because in all previous talks we have talked about it. Number one is dependent origination knowledge. Then the second, non-self. Okay, so when we talk about dependent origination, non-self, these two levels of wisdom, it can come in the Suttamaya Panya, hearing and reading kind of knowledge, and it can also come on higher level on Cintamaya Panya, thinking, reflecting, reasoning kind of knowledge, and the highest Bhavanamaya Panya, you can upgrade the knowledge to insight, direct penetration, direct insight into the phenomena. This kind of wisdom, direct insight kind of wisdom, or insight by seeing things as they really are through meditation. This kind of insight. These are so important. Then next, this is emotional richness. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha, loving kindness. Karuna is compassion, Mudita, appreciative joy, and Upekkha, equanimity. So after we have the foundation, good foundation, this wisdom of dependent origination, non-self, then coupled with loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, equanimity, then we are in a very good position to apply this Dhamma power in application, seeing things as they really are with wisdom. This is so crucial because when we have this wisdom to see things as they really are, or we can just put it the other way, the wisdom to see things as they really are. This will enable us to understand every situation, scenario, so that we can see the relevant causes, and then, or especially the hidden one, the so-called seemingly invisible causes, and then we can perform and can fulfill and eventually materialize what is seemingly known as miracle. Then how to cultivate this? The next important question is the powers of Sila, Samadhi, Panya, morality or virtue, concentration and wisdom. The power of virtue, concentration and wisdom. So another one related to this is the power of samatha, vipassana meditation. Samatha takes care of concentration cultivation, and vipassana takes care of wisdom cultivation. That's so important. So I won't go into details because every one of these is a big topic. So just enough to enumerate this for you, and for you have an overview. That's for this purpose. So when we cultivate this, through the samatha vipassana meditation, through the cultivation of sila samadhi panya, we can develop incredible knowledge, very helpful Dhamma powers as dependent origination knowledge, non-self knowledge, and emotional richness, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, equanimity. With this as a good foundation, we will be able to have the wisdom that to see things as they really are. And with that, we can uncover a whole lot of so-called secrets or mysteries. It actually is their scientific causes. That once you fulfill those things, we can perform worthy miracles, especially the miracles of completely eradicating all causes of suffering, and thus eradicate completely all suffering from our life. Okay? So with that, we end tonight's talk. Okay. Okay, any question? This question was about if you can see the past, can you see your future? Yes, actually. If you can see your past, surely you can see your future. It's the same. The way of seeing is the same. Just that the future can be changed. The past cannot be changed. It's a record. But future can be changed. We can project. Yeah. And if you know dependent origination, you will know how to change your future. Yeah. And how far can you see backward? How far in the future? Depends on concentration only. The skills is the same. The method is the same. If you can see 5 lifetimes, you can see 5 eons. Same. Just that how powerful your concentration is. Just that. So here was this question about how to cultivate psychic. Don't ask me. I don't have that power. Just that how to do it. Basically, there are 14 masteries of concentration. They are practice, but actually, it's more to that. More to that. The details part, especially the supernormal power, the details part. Last time I remember, Paul Xiaoji asked Aryadhamma Mahatera whether it is recorded in the Sri Lankan scripture or not. Try to find, but cannot find. But basically, they have to produce a psychic mind, one citta, and then basically the technique doesn't seem to be too sophisticated, but rather it requires very powerful concentration. Yeah. At one time I was sleeping with my friend. He died already. His concentration was so good. He could just look at the wall and see all the casino, he could just produce as he wished. I say, well, can you produce a space? He said, he can. I said, can you produce a space in the wall and put your hands through? Then he couldn't do it. He said, no, this is beyond me. So anyway, okay, important thing is we need to tell is being able to see the external namarupa, materiality, mentality, that's not psychic yet. That's not mind reading yet. That's just vipassana knowledge, vipassana capability to see internally, externally. But when you can go into the conceptual knowledge, for example, this person is thinking about a hand or a cock, you cannot mistake it precisely. You know what that person is thinking, that kind of concept. That is that we call the mind reading. But there's a different level. Beginning of mind reading, just see the person angry mind as angry mind, happy mind as happy mind, wise mind or whatever. That's also considered mind reading, but early stage. But eventually the developed stages, everything can be known. Can arahants be considered having psychic? Yeah, in that sense of eradicating all asavas, all cankers. Okay. Idang me punyang asava kaya vahang hotu. Idang me punyang nibbana sapacayo hotu. Mama punya bhagang sabba sattanang bhajemi. Te sabbe me samang punya bhagang labantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.